Hello, my name is Val Hetrick. Welcome to the next edition of the More series presented by MaaS360. Today we will learn how the Information Security Handbook, published by the Federal Financial Institutions Examination Council, can be used as a framework for endpoint and mobile device risk management and compliance. Before we start into this week's webinar, let's do a quick recap of the previous financial webinar we did. This webinar was based on a technology adoption profile FiberLink did with Forrester Consulting. It covered managing and securing corporate and personal devices in financial services. The focus was on smartphones. However, based on how weary firms are of regulatory requirements and top security priorities, laptops and distributed PCs cannot be forgotten. Today we will talk about how compliance is moving to endpoints, review the key regulations facing financial firms, and finally discuss how the FFIEC Handbook, used in conjunction with the MaaS360 Financial IT Regulatory Enforcement Service, can help with compliance. In September of 2009, the SEC fined Commonwealth Equity Services for violating the Safeguards Rule, Rule 30A of Regulation SP. The primary violation? The company failed to adopt procedures reasonably designed to protect customer information. Specifically, they did not require the use of antivirus software. This ruling is just one in a growing trend. Lawmakers and auditors have begun to require extensive safeguards for personal data residing on laptops, distributed PCs, and handheld devices. They are also mandating protections for data being transferred to and from mobile employees over wireless connections and public networks. The increase in mobility coupled with these requirements pose two challenges for financial firms. While some of the regulations are very specific, others refer generally to reasonable procedures protecting against foreseeable risk. What kind of safeguards will meet these vague guidelines? Few tools exist to demonstrate that security applications are in fact installed and operational on mobile and distributed endpoints. So even after safeguards have been put into place, how can organizations show auditors they are in compliance? Next, we will present a quick review of several laws and standards that include requirements for protecting information on endpoints, general mandates to protect such data, and penalties for disclosing personal data. The Safeguards Rule applies to brokers, dealers, investment companies, and investment advisors registered with the SEC. These firms must adopt written policies and procedures that address administrative, technical, and physical safeguards for the protection of customer records and information. Further, these written policies and procedures must be reasonably designed to ensure the security and confidentiality of customer records and information and to protect against any anticipated threats or hazards to the security or integrity of customer records and information. Massachusetts Law 201 CRM 17 states that laptops containing confidential information about residents must be protected by data encryption, firewalls, and up-to-date antivirus files. Nevada NRS 603A specifies that personal data transmitted electronically must be encrypted. 45 of the 50 U.S. states have data breach laws that require the notification to potential victims of security breaches. One of the best known and most stringent is California SB 1386. Fortunately, many of these laws include a safe harbor clause for encrypted data. If a laptop or mobile device is lost or stolen, the requirement to notify potential victims can be eliminated if the organization proves that the lost information was encrypted. To protect payment card data, the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard requires the use of personal firewalls, antivirus and anti-spyware software, and virtual private networks. For those doing business in the UK, the Financial Services Authority specifically recommends encrypting data on laptops and USB devices, and implementing tools to ensure that up-to-date security features are in place on laptops and other portable devices. Our quick survey reveals two facts. A few regulations require or strongly encourage specific technologies, like encryption, VPNs, firewalls, and antivirus packages. Many regulations offer only general guidelines, such as protecting against foreseeable risk. But what risks are foreseeable in the context of data stored on endpoints? What precautions should be taken against these risks? And how will IT, security, and compliance staff know if they are doing enough? To answer these questions, we suggest that financial firms consult the Information Security Handbook published by the FFIEC. This document provides a reasoned discussion of industry best practices and guidelines that apply across many areas of IT security. The FFIEC Information Security Handbook makes concrete suggestions for policies, procedures, and technologies covering a broad range of IT security topics. Here we will confine our discussion to topics related to protecting data on endpoints, protecting data transmitted over wireless and public networks, and preventing mobile devices from becoming the launching pad for attacks on corporate networks. Here are some of the suggested best practices. The handbook recommends a comprehensive patch management process, including processes to monitor vulnerabilities, prioritize and test patches, plan a rollout, and create an audit trail of all changes. The FFIEC authors highlight the importance of protecting the integrity of the remote devices. The handbook notes that remote devices are particularly vulnerable and provide attackers with opportunities to subvert networks from outside an organization's physical perimeter. It also mentions the need to maintain up-to-date antivirus definitions. The FFIEC authors strongly emphasize the importance of encryption to secure both communications and data storage. They discuss encryption key management, encryption types, and example of encryption usage. The handbook repeatedly emphasizes the importance of continually monitoring events in the environment. Unfortunately, merely implementing security best practices is not enough. Organizations must be able to prove compliance to satisfy auditors, and there are few tools that exist to demonstrate that policies are being followed for laptops, distributed PCs, and other endpoints. The MaaS360 Financial IT Reg Enforcement Service is a hosted service designed to help financial firms safeguard data on mobile and distributed computers and to demonstrate that best practice security technologies are in place and working. It collects data from laptops, netbooks, and distributed PCs and sends the data to a centralized management portal. Data collected includes installed hardware and software, the state of the endpoint and data security applications, versions and dates for patches and antivirus signature files, and information about VPN usage and connections to the Internet. Information about non-compliant endpoints is collected in a convenient MyReg watch list that is updated daily. These statistics are also sent to the administrators via email. Dashboards and reports, accessed through a secure browser connection, help administrators identify vulnerabilities, troubleshoot problems, demonstrate compliance with regulations and corporate policies, identify opportunities to improve operating processes, and reduce networking cost. Additional information can be found at www.maas360.com under the Services drop-down. Here you can view the white paper and datasheet or sign up for a trial of the MaaS360 Financial IT Reg Enforcement Service. Thank you.